We are taking you into the news right now with the Fox 45 news feed. It's 11 a.m. A push today to see how the city's crime-fighting plans are working. The debate over the mayor's controversial conduit plan with BGE continues. The big disconnect as leaders debate whether a deal actually happened. And another teenager loses his life to violence. What some are saying should be done to stop young people from falling victim to the city's crime crisis. Fox 45 News Midday starts now.
Live from WBFF in Baltimore, this is Fox 45 News Midday.
Thanks for joining us for Fox 45 News Midday. I'm Patrice Sanders. We begin this morning in a city in crisis. In Baltimore, fatal and non-fatal shootings are down compared to this time last year, but they're still on pace for 2021. That means that the city could see over 300 lives lost to violence for a 9th year in a row. Now, leaders from across the state are looking at ways to curb the levels. Olivia Dance joins us this morning with the meeting that is happening today with the City Council and Monzi.
At 1 this afternoon, city leaders are meeting for a hearing on crime reduction, and this meeting really comes at a critical time as earlier this week a 16-year-old Patterson High School student was shot and killed in a park just behind the school. And even though shootings are down this year compared to last, violence is still a major concern, especially violence among teens. So far this year, 6 Baltimore City Public School students have been killed, and the community is in mourning. Yesterday, city prosecutor Thuru Vignaraja joined residents calling on city leaders to do more to stop the violence.
City's leadership needs to understand that this is a grim cycle, that if nothing wakes them up, if the violence of the last 8 years has not done enough to wake them up, this surely has to.
I would like them to participate, to get involved with the community, to see what really happened in the community because they're out of touch.
Members of the Baltimore Police Department, the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Safety and Engagement, and other agencies will be at today's City Council meeting. The purpose of the hearing is to monitor the progress of the city's crime reduction and violence prevention efforts, but the community is heartbroken and tired of all the violence. So, of course, Fox 45 News will be monitoring today's meeting to see if city leaders come up with any new solutions. But for now, reporting in Baltimore, I'm Olivia Dance, Fox 45 News, Midday.
Making headlines this morning, Baltimore City's Telesis is reacting to the violence happening outside the classroom, but during school hours. We spoke with lifelong Baltimore resident and pastor P.M. Smith about what he thinks can be done to keep the kids safe.
For me, it's security from beginning to end, not only when they come on the campus, but once they're in the building. There needs to be more security if we're going to care for our kids and change the narrative. The city is in crisis, but right now the city is in mourning.
To see that full interview, just head to our website, foxbaltimore.com.
It's a huge win for the city.
It's a bad deal for the city.
You hear it right there. The debate over the mayor's controversial conduit deal with BGE continues this morning. The city's law department is now defending the legality of the contract, but some members of the city council are pushing back. Shannon Lilly joins us this morning with the latest developments involving a $14 million payment. Shannon.
Well, despite the uncertainty and backlash over this deal, the city is moving right ahead with the agreement, even cashing in that $14 million check signed by BG&E. Meanwhile, there are people here at City Hall who are still not even convinced that this deal is legitimate.
There is no question on the legality on this solicitor's side. This is a done deal. We're acting on the deal. It's done.
The council, as well as the comptroller, have been very clear on, what our position is with respect to that. That meeting never happened, and a deal was not executed. So what happens if it's determined that there's not actually an agreement in place?
We're confident that it is.
That back and forth unfolding at last night's meeting right here at City Hall as council members demanded answers from the city's finance and law department about this multi-million-dollar deal. Now remember, this deal was pushed through last month by the mayor and 2 of his appointees, despite Comptroller Bill Henry and Council President Nick Mosby boycotting the meeting. Henry and Mosby called the contract null and void, saying the mayor defied city law law by pushing it through in their absence. So Henry and Mosby are now asking Attorney General Anthony Brown to step in and intervene. His office tells us they are waiting for a report from the city solicitor before making a decision. As of now, though, there is no word on when the city solicitor will send over that report, but of course we'll be following it. Reporting from City Hall, I'm Shannon Lilly, Fox 45 News, Midday.
11:05, here's a look at today's top trending stories. Trending number one, while the General Assembly debates legislation targeting violent crime, Fox 45 News is sitting down with Maryland's former governor to see how he is reacting to the city's crime crisis. He says the General Assembly is out of touch with what people want regarding crime plans. He still believes in the importance of his violent firearms offender bill, which would increase penalties for repeat offenders. Lawmakers, meanwhile, are running up against the clock to get the crime bills done before the session ends on April 10th. Trending number two, a community is reeling after 16-year-old Isaiah Carter was shot and killed just steps away from Patterson High School. He is the sixth Baltimore City public school student killed this year. The shooting happened in Joseph Lee Park, just behind the school, on Monday afternoon. Police are still looking for the suspect or suspects responsible for the shooting. Anyone with tips is asked to call Metro Crime Stoppers. An $8,000 reward is being offered. Trending number three, when Baltimore police send out an alert about crime, a request for anonymous tips is almost always included, as you just heard. Now, typically a person can be eligible for a reward up to $2,000, but supplemental funds from Mayor Scott's office have raised that dollar amount to $8,000 for information that leads to an arrest in a murder case. Delegate Kaylin Young believes the current payouts are still not large enough to encourage people to come forward. Young says he imagines a system that would pay out $50,000 to people who provide information that leads to an arrest for murder cases. Trending number four, the Ravens have used the franchise tag on Lamar Jackson. They made the tag incredibly interesting by using the $32 million non-exclusive franchise tag. So that means that the Ravens will keep Jackson from becoming a free agent next week when the new league year opens. But other teams can begin to talk with Jackson on Monday. The Ravens would then have a chance to match any offer, or they let him go, and they receive 2 first-round draft picks. Trending number five, today is International Women's Day. You can mark the day by taking part in a march for women's equal rights or participate in a related fundraiser, festival, lecture, seminar, and post to the hashtag International Women's Day. You can keep celebrating for the rest of the month, as it is also National Women's History Month. Download the Fox 45 News app for up-to-the-minute traffic conditions, breaking news, weather anytime. Just search WBFF in your app store. It is the latest trend that's going viral on social media. People eating oranges in the shower. Why they're doing it and how they say it makes the fruit taste different. Weight Watchers is expanding its business model. The new prescription drugs the weight loss company is going to sell. But first, Texas is facing its first major lawsuit over its near total abortion ban. The changes victims of the ban want to see made in their state.
Checking your weather story, plenty of sunshine again today. We'll see breezy to windy conditions for the afternoon again. A colder weekend is right around the corner, so enjoy these next couple of days. We'll keep those numbers into the lower 50s, which is about average for this time of year. Overnight lows drop into the 30s, right back to the lower 50s on Thursday with less wind, but we're definitely tracking our next weather maker, and that could bring some more wintry precipitation to the area. We'll talk about it in just a bit.
Fox 45 News, winner of 17 2022 Regional Emmy Awards, more than all other Baltimore news stations combined.
11:10 now, and taking a look at your social stream, federal investigators are looking into the safety culture at Norfolk Southern. The NTSB says it is looking into 5 significant incidents since December of 2021. That includes the derailment in East Palestine, Ohio last month, and the one near Springfield, Ohio over the weekend. Officials are also looking into the death of a train conductor in Cleveland. That happened on Tuesday. Norfolk Southern CEO Alan Shaw is scheduled to testify in Congress tomorrow. A lot of people are still talking about what's going on with that railroad. One person saying people need to get fired. Another one saying, deferred maintenance, ignoring safety regulations. 5 women are suing the state of Texas over its abortion ban, saying it put their lives and future fertility at risk. According to the suit, the women faced emergency complications in their pregnancies and they needed life-saving abortions, but were told by their doctors they would have to travel out of state to get one. The suit seeks to clarify Texas law to allow for abortions to be performed if the mother faces death or infertility before their health starts to decline. You've got differing thoughts on this. One person saying medically necessary, but are still around for lawsuits. Another person, the audacity to put politicians in the role of deciding on health care for women is beyond ludicrous. Many of them are ignorant on how women's bodies function, let alone determining critical medical decisions. Weight Watchers is getting into the prescription weight loss business. The company currently offers meal plans and other tools to help subscribers lose weight, but now it's adding prescriptions. The company is buying Sequence, a telehealth provider that offers users access to drugs used to treat diabetes and obesity. The drugs are sold under brand names like Ozempic, Wegovy, and Trulicity. A lot of thought about this on here. One saying, so I guess Weight Watchers itself doesn't actually work, LOL. And another making a very serious point. Weight Watchers is going to make my prescription and my wife's prescription even harder to get. We need the diabetic medications. People don't need it for weight loss. Isn't the whole point of prescription medication so that people don't abuse needed medications? Well, still ahead, Uber is rolling out a new airport guide for BWI. The changes users will see in the app that could make getting around the airport a little easier. But first, Baltimore is ending its COVID health emergency. What the city's health commissioner is saying about the path forward. And coming up later today at noon, it's Karamo. Then at 1, it's Sherry, followed by Hot Bench at 2. 11:13 now on Fox 45 News Midday. We are back with a live look over the Inner Harbor. A sunny but cold day today. Rain is moving in just in time for the weekend. Meteorologist Justin Chambers is tracking that system that's just ahead in his full Weather Authority forecast. 11:15 now. On the path forward, the Baltimore City Health Department is announcing the end of the COVID-19 public health emergency. The department says that residents can return safely to their normal activities thanks to a high vaccination rate. Now, earlier this morning, we spoke with Baltimore City Health Commissioner Dr. Letitia Gerasa about the path forward.
We have to continue to be vigilant, especially for those that are more vulnerable than us, right? So it's still critical that folks get up to date on all their vaccinations, including their boosters, to protect themselves and to protect their loved ones. Vaccines are effective, right? So with the wave of vaccinations, we certainly saw decreases in hospitalizations. We know that vaccines contribute to less overall long-term illness and comorbidities as a result of COVID. And so I think that that's really the most critical thing, is that vaccines still remain important.
To see the full interview and the latest COVID stats, head to our website, foxbaltimore.com. Making headlines this morning, Uber is launching a new airport guide for BWI Thurgood Marshall. The rideshare company is adding step-by-step instructions in the Uber app to help guide people through airports as they head to the Uber pickup area. The instructions will also have photos. Uber says the new feature will be available for more than 30 airports, including BWI. Meta is reportedly planning more job cuts than previously announced. The company is planning to cut several thousand more jobs just months after cutting 11,000 employees. The cuts could come as soon as this week. Amazon is permanently closing its Amazon Go stores. The company says it's closing stores in Seattle, New York City, and San Francisco as part of an optimization decision. The stores will close on the 1st of next month. You can get Fox 45 News in a flash through your Amazon Alexa or Echo. We now deliver your local headlines and forecasts in less than 2 minutes. If you have an Amazon device, tell it to enable Fox 45 Baltimore. Coming up later today on Fox 45 News at 4, a public safety meeting being held tonight in Baltimore after another teen is killed. We question city leaders on the rising crime among youth. And at 5, Baltimore County is seeing more crime in Towson. Fox 45 News questions County Executive Johnny Olszewski on if he is doing enough. Mayor Brandon Scott and the City Council are still in a disagreement over the BGE conduit deal. We're going to look at more details involving that deal new at 6. 11:17 now in today's Talking Point. It came before Blockbuster and it kept its doors open longer. But now a Minnesota video store says it is time to roll the ending credits. Video Universe is the last video store in the state, but it is closing its doors after 40 years in business. Mark Clark with Be More Lifestyle is here now, and I want to know how they made it for the 40 years. What have they been doing in these last few years?
That's right, Patrice. In our day, we would go into these stores and look at movie titles and go home. You're right. They must have had, I bet they had. Wait a minute.
Don't use that old voice, because that is what I used to do, and I don't want to look at myself as old.
We used to go on a Friday and pick out the videos. Yeah.
And you were excited about that all week. Oh, we're going to the video store. I get my 2.
Before there was Netflix and chill,
right,
there was Blockbuster. What do we call it? It was a Blockbuster night, something like that, right?
I don't remember what it was called.
Oh, Patrice, you don't remember. You never did that.
I did. I did. I wish I could say that I didn't. But
I pick up some wine and we go to Blockbuster and then.
No, I wasn't old enough for the wine at the time that I was going to Blockbuster. Thank you very much. But I'm amazed that they were able to stay in business for this long.
I bet it was a great community stop. They probably had, it was probably the people there were cool. Right. They might have had popcorn. I bet they made it really a cool experience, because that is what's missing, is that experience, And
so much easier now, though.
Yeah, you're right. You can even do it on your phone now, right?
Yeah, right. I have all the streaming apps that are on my TV at home. They're all on my phone as well. So.
You're trapped. You're trapped like me.
I'm trapped. All right, moving on. I feel shamed. A sunny but cold day here at home. Much better, though, than the snowy conditions that meteorologist Justin Chambers is showing us overseas.
Well, you want snow? You got to go across the pond. This is London, England. So this is what they woke up to this morning. Pretty decent snowfall right there. You can actually see that on the street, and definitely getting a little bit of light accumulation. Now, we're not going to see that, but we may see some of the wet flakes as we get into this upcoming weekend. Winter is not done. Today, plenty of sunshine, breezy to windy conditions for the afternoon, but we will have a colder weekend ahead. Those numbers are going to be coming down. Now, for the next couple of hours, we're talking about low 50s for you into that 1, 2, and 3 o'clock hour. Again, lots of sunshine and pretty close to average for this time of year in early March. Upper 40s and lower 50s across central Maryland. Those numbers continuing to be near that number, the average number. number. Even up and down the East Coast, we're seeing numbers in the 40s for New York and Philly. 54 in D.C. today. Western Maryland right about 50 for the high this afternoon. Notice what happens with our temperature tracker. So the red line is the average for this time of year. We keep the lower 50s around Wednesday and Thursday. We drop below average on Friday, and we stay in the 40s through the weekend and into early next week. So we'll have a period of below average conditions. Now, here's our future scan. Overall looking great on Wednesday afternoon, even with that wind out there. Thursday, a little less wind. That should be the best day to do anything you want done outdoors, because Friday will be an indoor day. We're tracking the potential for some cold rain moving in Friday morning, possibly mixed in with some wet snow, maybe some light accumulation, some of our northern areas. Off and on showers through Friday afternoon. Another round of rain comes in late Friday night to Saturday morning. That also could bring some of the wintry precip mixed in with that. But by Saturday afternoon, that pushes out of here. And we'll see the wind hanging around on the backside of that for your Saturday late in the day. Sunday, not looking too bad. Another round of showers early next week. Now, notice on your 10-day forecast, after the 50s through tomorrow, we basically have another 8 days in the 40s before we finally warm up later this month.
It is Date Night Wednesdays on Fox, and there is a new dating show premiering tonight. It's the global hit series about a chance at finding romance on the ranch. And now, Farmers Want a Wife has found a home right here on Fox 45.
I was born ready to be a farmer's wife.
I can tell just by the show follows 4 farmers looking for love, all hoping to meet city singles who have been transported to the farm. Farmer Wants a Wife premieres tonight at 9 right here on Fox 45. And then right after that, and it's coming up right after an all-new The Masked Singer. Still ahead, it may not feel like it right now, but spring is near. You want proof? BC's famous cherry blossoms are continuing to bloom, where you'll get the best videos coming up. But first, as egg prices soar, the Biden administration is looking into ways to bring them down. How vaccinating chickens could help. 11:22 now on Fox 45 News Midday. 11:25, don't miss this. A flu vaccine for chickens could be in the works, and that could help with rising egg prices. The Biden administration is considering mass vaccinations in light of a widespread bird flu. The outbreak is the largest ever in history and has caused millions of chickens to die, and then that's led to soaring egg prices. A campaign for an extensive bird flu vaccination program would be the nation's first ever. Verizon is trying to get customers to switch to newer phone plans by raising rates on the older phone plans. The company is adding a $2 monthly fee for those who have yet to switch to one of its latest plans. Customers were notified of the change last week. It goes into effect next month. Signs of spring are making an appearance at our nation's capital. The famous cherry blossoms have reached stage 3 out of 6. The predicted beginning of peak bloom is just about 2 weeks from today. Now, that can last a few days until the wind blows the flowers off the trees. We have some nice blossoms right here in Baltimore. If you can't make it to D.C., just go to our website, foxbaltimore.com, to see the best locations. And if you do see any cherry blossoms, we want to see your pictures. Scan the QR code on your screen. That will take you to foxbaltimore.com/chime-in, and that is where you can upload your pictures and videos. It's powered by Stackla. That's all we have for Fox 45 News Midday. Be More Lifestyle up next. Mark Clark back to tell us what they're working on.
Hey, Patrice, a guest skips out on her coworker's wedding reception to go grab fast food, and people are siding with her. We'll talk about wedding etiquette and ask you who you think is right. Coming up next.
You're watching Fox 45 in Baltimore. Now live from TV Hill, this is Be More Lifestyle.
And what's up, Baltimore? I'm Mark Clark, and this is Be More Lifestyle live from Studio B at Fox Baltimore. Lady T is here, along with comedian Ray Diva. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Day, family.
Let me tell you right now, the Ravens failed to reach a long-term contract with Lamar Jackson and instead have chosen to tag him. Now, under the tag, other teams are allowed to negotiate with the former MVP, but if Jackson accepts an offer, the Ravens have a chance to match it. Ray Diva. Did they do this because they wanted to prove Lamar that ain't nobody wants you, or did they do this because they're like, okay, we're done?
I would say this. If my husband franchised me, what do you think his dinner would look like every night? And I'm just keeping it 100.
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
That's a tough one.
Well played. Lady T.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed in this little tagging because I felt like at first I was like, oh, they playing tag with this man? They literally playing free tag with this man. No, I feel like we should, come on, we got to do whatever it takes to bring Lamar back onto this team. I'm wearing the purple today, hoping that they make good decisions today, okay?
Good job, Lady T.
LJ,
that could help.
baby.
You wearing purple could help, Lady T. Thank you.
Yes, I'm trying to be Lamar Jackson baby mama, so yeah, definitely trying to out here.
A woman is going viral for skipping out on her coworker's wedding reception to go get fast food. Now, hear me out. The 25-year-old says she was shocked when she sat down at the reception to see prices on the menu. She said she didn't have the money to pay for a $50 dinner, and she was surprised since she'd asked the bride if she needed to pay for anything and was told no. First of all, here's the problem. If you have to ask the bride, do I have to pay for anything at the wedding, that's a sign that this might not be for you.
That might not be for you. Tell
and then
them,
the part two is right. The prices, come on now. Don't have a party. It can't be a party if I got to pay $50 for it. Come on.
Mark, I'm charging. I'm a black woman. When a man asks me to marry him, I'm marrying you financially stable now. I'm going to serve you some McDonald's, some White Castle, whatever it takes. I'm going. When the man asks, I'm saying yes immediately, and we're going down the aisle immediately.
Well, wow. Let me tell you something, Ray Diva. You are really making guys want to ask. I'm telling you.
What's gonna say?
Lady T.
If you're in trophy wife land.
We got Lady T and Ray Diva on the show. You guys.
I was like, listen,
Lady
I actually
T.
was feeling what she was saying, but you know what? I have to admit, I have left a wedding before and went to go get food after because the food was trifling. The food was bad. There wasn't enough food. You could tell that they didn't have money.
What
you
about
could just
love?
tell that they were clearly not at a financial
place. But wait, so you start charging people.
But wait, we went to Longhorn after. We didn't go to McDonald's, okay? Now I have left.
You're classy.
Oh yeah, we were fancy. Had a little Parmesan crusted chicken.
Put your pinky in the
With
air,
the pinky in the air.
fancy.
I know, I'm fancy, huh? But no. I really feel like sometimes you got to leave these events to go to better ones. I went to an amazing wedding and nothing has topped it since. There was a bartender that came out the roof. Huh? There was nonstop food every day. Was shoving food down our throats. So yes, do better at these weddings. We try to eat, y'all.
Okay, fine. We want you to tell us, is it okay to expect guests to pay for their food at a wedding? Vote now on our website, foxbaltimore.com/vote. Make sure you get to the website. Make sure you click on the Lifestyle tab. You can also vote on our Fox 45 News app. And at the end of the show, we'll see what everybody thinks. Now, it's the latest trend going viral on social media. People are eating oranges in the shower. TikTokers claim the steam from the shower intensifies the citrus scent and taste. It also prevents any cleanup from sticky orange juice on your fingers. Are you behind this, Ray Diva?
I'm not buying it at all.
Ray Diva is a superstar on social media. Ray Diva, are you covered in oranges in the shower doing this?
I'm not doing it. And I feel like the same person who said you should lick a toilet and see if you can get COVID is the same person who came out with this idea. It's crazy.
Facts.
It makes no sense.
I don't know. For some reason, I can see Lady T in the shower with the oranges. Honey, no, are you doing this?
because I'm bad and bougie, so obviously I mean oranges in the shower. No, I barely even want to get in the shower in the morning because I am so tired. I'm exhausted. I don't even remember who I am by the time I get in the shower. So I don't understand the point of this. Why don't you just drink orange juice?
Yeah, you can drink your vitamin C.
You can be outside the shower and drink orange juice, but you're putting an orange in it. I don't understand. This makes no sense.
I think, it's almost to me like these couples that do these skits on each other. It almost reminds you of a kid, like the first time cameras were invented, right? It's like people are a little wacky when it comes to the stuff
Well,
they're
if it's
doing.
a couple in the shower, they're probably doing other things.
With oranges.
There's probably no oranges involved.
Wow, okay.
Probably a little caramel syrup in there. Oh, sorry, okay.
Now, speaking of social media, we need to give some love to, it's a tragic story, but Ray Diva got over 1 million views on social media, guys.
Yeah, on a TikTok post.
So Ray Diva, tell us real quick, what happened, Ray Diva?
Yes.
Walk us through it in 2 seconds.
Well, so, you know, so 4 Americans went over to Mexico, and then they were murdered, and it's a big controversy on why they were there. But one reason was that the lady was getting a tummy tuck or a BBL. And so that was the controversy. Like, why going to these dangerous countries for this?
And Ray, that's the most you've hit so far, 1 million?
On that one post, yes.
Wow. Give it up for Ray Diva. We bow down to you.
Ray, you are the bomb, boo.
Now I need 1 million followers.
Happy International Women's Day.
Get an autograph. Still ahead. Leaving behind a legacy. We'll talk about the gift of organ donation and how it's helping improve the lives of those in our community. And it can help elevate your next gathering. We'll show you a cool new gadget to update your outdoor music experience. Okay, that's coming up next.
You're watching Be More Lifestyle.
The creators behind one of America's Steals and Deals' most popular products ever are back and ready to upgrade your outdoor music experience. Here's Nick Calderon with today's money-saving deal.
The following segment is sponsored by Noki.
Where are my party people at? Yeah, I know you're out there, and I know you're watching, and I know you love to get together with your friends and family. Bluetooth speakers are clutch to having a good party, and I've got one that I think completely sets the mood. As you can see, I've got a little bit of fire effect going on here right now, but there's no fire. It's an LED light on the inside flickering away, setting the mood. This is the Tiki Tunes Pro. It connects to your phone just like many other Bluetooth speakers. Just simply push the button on top, connect it, and bam, you've got music. But this little flicker lasts for hours, and it totally sets the ambiance for any kind of island theme party you're going for. You can even connect up to 100 of the Tiki Tunes Pros together for that full backyard surround sound feeling. And how does it sound? Come on, who wouldn't want to have the Tiki Tunes in their backyard? It fills the whole yard with that island vibe music. They're water and dust resistant. You can set them on a tabletop or the speakers leading up to your house for a real effect for your guests. Right now, we're offering 25% off the Tiki Tunes Pro. This is gonna go fast. So take advantage of this exclusive offer. Head to asadeals.com. Play me out.
This Be More Lifestyle segment is sponsored by Infinite Legacy.
Anyone that has been licensed in the state of Maryland has been asked to be an organ, eye, and tissue donor. This seemingly small decision can actually have a massive impact. Here to tell us more is Latrice Price of Infinite Legacy. Latrice, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Tell us about Infinite Legacy.
So Infinite Legacy is the organ procurement organization. We cover Maryland, D.C., and Northern Virginia, and we're basically responsible for saving lives of those people waiting on the transplant list for life-saving organ transplant.
And Latrice, why is it so important to register as an eye, organ, or tissue donor?
Currently here in Maryland, we have about 3,000 people waiting for a life-saving organ transplant, and nationally there are about 100,000 people waiting for a life-saving organ transplant. So it's important that we register ourselves to be organ and tissue donors to help save lives of those who are in need.
There's a lot that goes into making organ donations and transplants happen that people don't know. Can you tell us about the organ donation process?
Yes, certainly. So when there is a death that occurs in our state, that there is a law that the hospital call and report the death, and that's how we know people are there at the hospital, not because anybody is searching to look for their heart on their driver's license. So we know because the hospital calls us, and the family is still involved in the process, and we have a discussion about the donation process. We explain that your loved one has designated themselves as an organ donor, and this is the process. And then they match the organs to the person on the waiting list. So they're looking at, with the UNOS, the United Network of Organ Sharing. So they're looking to match the kidney to a donor that's on the waiting list. They're looking to match the heart. So one person like myself can save up to 8 lives and then enhance 75 more with tissue donation.
That's amazing. So what's the need? How many people are waiting for organ transplants?
3,000 here in Maryland and 100,000 nationally are waiting.
And where can we sign up to, to do this? The organ, the eye, the tissue donors. What site do we go to again? And I know there's a great need.
Yes, so if you don't do it at the Department of Motor Vehicles in your area, you can do it at infinitelegacy.org. And you can just simply sign up there. And also make sure you tell your family your wishes to be a donor.
Awesome. Latrice, thanks so much for joining us on the show, okay?
Thank you, and have a great day.
You too. Still ahead, we're taking you inside the kitchen. We'll get some cooking tips from the expert chefs at Pretty Chef. And we're celebrating the rhythm and the boogie of the beat. Up jump the boogie. This year marks the 50th anniversary of hip-hop. Coming up, we'll show you how the National Hip Hop Museum is celebrating the anniversary with a new event space. Coming up. Mother Nature is giving Florida some picture-perfect weather ahead of a big golf match. Here's meteorologist Justin Chambers with your best weather in America. Justin?
All right, well, this is definitely something I like and a lot of folks as well. How about some golf? This is from the Players' Championship, and things looking good there. That's kind of the unofficial 5th major of the year that's taking place this weekend. They've got some nice weather, at least today, down there in the Jacksonville and St. Petersburg area. The TPC is where they play that where they play that match, or that tournament, I should say. Today, if you do want to get out there and play some golf here at home, just know it's going to be at least a 2-club wind again for the afternoon, with numbers in the lower 50s for your highs, but that wind anywhere from about 15 to 25 miles an hour, even some stronger gusts possible. Right about 53 is where we should end up this afternoon. That's pretty close to average. The sun will be up until 6:06 tonight. Remember, the time change is coming this weekend, so by next week, if we've got some nice weather outside, you can actually get some golf in a little bit later into the day, even though that sun comes up later as well. All right, so here's a look at your high temps across Carroll and Baltimore counties. Highs in the upper 40s and lower 50s for you on Wednesday afternoon. Numbers for Howard and Anne Arundel counties a little warmer. Lower 50s, Ellicott City down through Columbia and Odenton. Keeping those 50s into Glen Burnie and Pasadena down through Severna Park as well for Anne Arundel. And up and down the 95 corridor, cooler to the north in New York and Philly across southern PA. Right about 50 down the ocean in Ocean City, and also lower 50s in Cumberland for western Maryland. Here's a look at our temperature tracker. We've been kind of riding a real nice above average trend for the first part of the year. Numbers are a lot closer to average today and tomorrow. We slide below average Friday, and we keep those 40s going as we head into next week. We're not tracking any rain for the next 2 days, so we're going to stay nice and dry with, again, a lot of sunshine. The wind is a lot less intense on Thursday. This is the next weather maker, bringing in that potential for some cold rain on Friday morning, possibly mixed in with some wet flakes as well. Even on late Friday evening into Saturday morning, another round of those showers coming through could get some light accumulations in some of those favored locations that have higher elevations. So enjoy the 50s for the next couple of days, because then we've got a string of 40s through the weekend and all the way until the middle of next week.
This next guest is sure to make us hungry with her amazing recipes. We're joined now by Chef Karma from Pretty Chefs. What's up, Chef? How you doing?
I am doing amazing. Hello from sunny South Florida. And thank you for the amazing introduction. I'm so happy to be here.
Well, you're bringing the sun. So let me tell you, Chef, how do you separate yourself from the pack? So many chefs out there, so many dishes, so many social media followers. How do you do it?
So what I do is I separate myself because we are the Pretty Chefs. We do mobile hibachi, nutritional planning, meal preps. And where do you find a bunch of amazing, hardworking, beautiful women coming together, sitting outside doing mobile hibachi, cooking the best foods, the most delicious recipes, and that's what we do, and that's how I separate myself. Pretty Chefs.
We're looking at some of your wonderful dishes. So, what is your signature dish?
So, I would definitely say that I have a signature style of cooking, which is hibachi. But I definitely have prepared some of my amazing dishes for you guys to see.
Okay.
Yeah, so here we have our very delicious steak quesadillas.
Oh, my goodness.
These are some of my top sellers. I mean, these things go like hotcakes. And then I wanted to make sure I prepared for you guys some very delicious mini pizzas. These are also jerk steak. I wanted to highlight a little cow for you guys today.
Man.
And, of course, we have our signature hot pink tacos. It comes with fresh romaine, sliced tomatoes, pickled onions, and of course you can get your curry shrimp, jerk steak, or sweet chili chicken.
Chef Karma,
I wanted to infuse some of my Caribbean flavors.
I love it. So, Chef, does it seem like more people are interested in cooking? It seem that way or no?
Well, I definitely realized that during the pandemic, a lot more people wanted to get into learning how to cook. So that was where I kind of flourished, because I love to take everyone under my wing and teach them different styles of cooking, teach them about flavor, texture. And I think that it went very amazing because I get to work with a lot of kids, a lot of nonprofit organizations. And with my meal preps, that's something that really took off because people were actually able to get all the fresh ingredients anywhere in the world. And that's something that I was very happy and proud to talk about and teach people.
Well, Chef, how can people follow you? How can they get some of this delicious food, too?
So you can definitely check me out on my website, www.prettychefsinternational. And I also just opened my first restaurant here in sunny South Florida. Fort Lauderdale is called Casa de Carmo. You can also check me out at www.casadkarma.com, and the Instagram handles are also the same, Pretty Chefs International.
Thanks so much, Chef, for this information. Appreciate you, okay?
Awesome. Thank you so much.
This year marks the 50th anniversary of hip-hop. To celebrate, the National Hip-Hop Museum and they're having a grand opening of a new space and a new event space and new retail space. Joining us, we have founder of the museum, Jeremy Beaver, and Erica Parham. Welcome, guys. How you doing?
Hey, thanks for having us.
So look, Jeremy, you know, we go back.
Yes, Mark.
So I know the answer to this, but tell me, what motivated you to open up this, create this museum?
Man, that's a bigger question that really stems in 2017, when we started the collection, which is now the world's largest collection of hip-hop artifacts. We saw no one else doing it, no one else in the space actually creating a museum for America's most important and largest export, hip-hop. So in 2019 in Washington, D.C., we had our grand opening. And ever since then, in the last 3 years, not only were we the world's first hip-hop museum to open, but we've inducted almost 60 of the amazing, iconic legends of hip-hop and honoring them, giving them their flowers that they're due.
Erica and Jeremy, Biggie said, never thought hip-hop would take it this far. Are you surprised that hip-hop has, as a worldwide influence, has taken it this far?
No, I don't. It's in everything, and I love it, and you tell the world loves it. So.
And what's the most common reaction when people come into the store, come into the space?
Shock and awe. So, you know, we're all of a certain demographic, let's be honest with ourselves, you know what I mean?
Yes, yeah.
When you're in about your mid to late 40s all the way through to your 60s, this stuff has special meaning for us. So if you come into the National Hip Hop Shop, nationalhiphopshop.com, online, you will see the largest collection of hip-hop memorabilia that you can purchase, whether it's Ghostface Killah's cream coffee, you know what I mean? Mark, we got you a hat, okay? We highlight artisans, okay? Look at this amazing hand-blown glass J. Dilla necklace.
Wow.
And I'm actually wearing one. Look at this. He even made one for the museum. And these, you can purchase these actually at our shop, okay? So if you come in, 1919 18th Street, Northwest Washington, D.C. Erica, who's that?
Busta Rhymes. And this is this Woo-Ha figure. Love it. It's beautiful inside. We have Public Enemy based on the comic books that we carry at the National Hip Hop Shop.
Look at those Public Enemy figures, Mark.
Well,
How cool is that?
Yeah,
Jeremy,
we carry comic books as well.
You guys have amazing there. I mean, again, and that's not all. That's not all you can buy there. Wait a minute, guys.
There's more.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much. Happy hip hop anniversary. And if you haven't had a chance to go spend some time with these guys, go do it. Thanks so much, guys.
Thanks for having us, Mark.
Thank you for having
Still
us.
ahead, a wedding guest skips out on our coworker's wedding reception to go get fast food, and people are on her side. What you're saying about wedding etiquette coming up after the break. And a woman's going viral for skipping out of a coworker's wedding reception to get fast food. The 25-year-old said she was shocked when she sat down at the reception to see prices on the menu. She said she didn't have any money to pay for a $50 dinner, and she was surprised since she asked the bride if she needed to pay for anything at the wedding, and the bride said no. Well, we wanted you to tell it. Is it okay to expect guests to pay for your food at a wedding? Most of you are saying no, of course not. Great show lined up for tomorrow. It's National Nutrition Month. We'll chat with a nutritionist and learn how food, meals, and habits impact our overall health and wellness, and how small changes in our lives can have big impacts.
Find out how to have your business featured on Be More Lifestyle. Email us at BeMoreLifestyleTV@foxbaltimore.com.
And thanks for inviting us into your home. Make sure you follow Be More Lifestyle on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.